The year is 2035. You don't wake up, you're activated. Your ring already scanned your vitals. Your mirror knows your mood before you do. Your breakfast, engineered by code. No guesswork, no decisions. You haven't chosen a single thing. At work, there are no keyboards, no brainstorming, no thinking, just prompts, copy, paste, performance. AI answers your emails before you read them. It completes your thoughts before you have them. Turn on the news, deepfakes and synthetic anchors, reality rendered. Watch a movie, written by an algorithm, acted by avatars, emotion, pre-programmed. Need groceries? Already ordered, by your biometric trends, dopamine dips and seasonal mood swings. Even the kids don't memorize facts anymore. They just learn how to ask better questions. History is a scroll, math is an app, learning is a license to outsource. But here's the twist. This isn't the future, it's now. 2025. We're already sleepwalking through a revolution. One swipe, one auto-reply, one predictive text at a time. And no one asked, at what point does help become dependence? We handed over the wheel for convenience. Now we're not sure who's driving. Is AI helping us evolve or erasing what makes us human? This isn't about killer robots or rogue AIs. This is about something far more dangerous. Comfort, compliance, cognitive decay. Because the truth is, no one will take your mind from you. You'll give it away, quietly, gratefully, one algorithm at a time. This is the untold story of a mental revolution. And if you're watching this, you're one of the few still thinking. Let's start with something innocent. Maps. You thought GPS was just a tool to get from point A to point B, but what if I told you it's quietly reprogramming your brain? A 2020 study revealed that people who rely heavily on GPS experience a measurable decline in spatial memory. Their mental maps vanishing. And here's the eerie part. They didn't even notice it was happening. Because that's how it works. Convenience doesn't warn you. It doesn't feel like control is being taken. It feels like help. But what happens when help becomes dependency? You see, GPS isn't AI. It's basic. So what happens when the tools get smarter than you? Think about autocorrect. Harmless, right? It fixes typos, catches your slip-ups. But studies now show over-reliance on autocorrect erodes your spelling ability, especially in younger generations. They still believe they're great spellers because the machine hides their mistakes. It's silent erosion, no alarms, no red flags, just decline in disguise. And now, we've handed over thinking itself. Tools like ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and Llama don't just help you write. They rewrite your thoughts, finish your sentences, explain what you never bothered to understand. You think you're in control? You're not even holding the wheel anymore. This is called cognitive offloading, the mental sleight of hand where your effort gets replaced by a shortcut. It feels like productivity, but it's really intellectual atrophy. A recent study from the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology confirmed it. The more we offload, the less we remember. The sharper the tool, the duller the mind. And this isn't just theory, it's infiltrating real life. Harvey Eugene Murphy Jr., wrongfully arrested after facial recognition flagged him. Except, he wasn't even in the same state. The algorithm was wrong, but the system believed it. No questions, no doubt, no human logic. That decision cost him freedom, dignity, and peace. He's suing for $10 million. But the real damage can't be refunded. This is the danger. Not just bad decisions, but blind faith in a machine that doesn't think, just calculates. And we keep calling it smart. AI is fast. It's fluent. It's confident. But so is autocorrect. And you've already forgotten how to spell necessary without it. Now zoom out. People aren't just using AI to analyze code or summarize legal briefs. They're using it to explain tweets. Yes, tweets. This isn't a capacity issue. It's a curiosity collapse. We can understand. We just don't want to try. And that's the line. Once crossed, it's almost impossible to walk back. Let's be honest. You didn't find this video. The algorithm did. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X. Every scroll, pause, click, it's data, fed into a model that predicts your desires before you even know them. You think you're choosing? No. You're being chosen for content. for products, for ideologies. And here's the trap. The more it feels tailored, the less you question it. You're not seeing what you want. You're seeing what the system wants you to want. Remember the early internet? You searched, you bookmarked, you explored. You curated your digital experience like a map of your mind. Today, you open an app and the feed is already waiting. You didn't ask, it just knows. This new generation doesn't just trust algorithms, they rely on them. During the pandemic, millions skipped learning altogether. Let AI fill in the blanks. Now, those same habits are in the workplace. AI isn't assisting, it's thinking for them. Sure, it looks like efficiency, but behind the scenes, it's mental disintegration, dressed as innovation. You've heard the phrase, use it or lose it, but no one warned you it applied to your brain. Because while you scroll, prompt, stream, and swipe, something beneath the surface is shutting down. Your neural circuits? They're not evolving, they're retreating. This isn't fiction, it's neuroplasticity, your brain rewiring itself with every habit, every skipped effort, every assist. And right now, you're not the one writing the code. Inside your mind, a silent blackout is spreading. A study from the University of California revealed the unsettling truth. Every time we outsource thinking to AI, to autocomplete, to calculators, our problem-solving centers go quiet. Memory, logic, reason, they're not failing, they're being phased out. And the brain doesn't resist, it adapts to a world where it's no longer needed. The hippocampus, your mental compass, the seat of memory, is literally shrinking in people addicted to digital navigation. The most vulnerable? Young minds, not decaying from age, but surrendering before they fully form. We used to map the world in our minds. Now, we follow blue dots and trust the machine. No questions, no awareness, just obedience. But the most dangerous change? It isn't structural, it's chemical. Each time an AI writes your email, finishes your sentence, wins your argument, dopamine, and your brain loves it. Shortcuts become pleasure loops. But here's the trap. The more you're rewarded for doing nothing, the less you want to do anything. You feel sharp, but you're not growing. You're being gamed. And what happens when distraction becomes design? A Microsoft study revealed Gen Z's attention span has fallen below 8 seconds, less than a goldfish. That's not evolution, that's deconstruction. Scroll, react, repeat. You're not being trained to think, you're being conditioned to respond. The algorithm doesn't want depth, it wants obedience. The less effort we ask of our brain, says Stanford neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman, the less capable it becomes. So what's the end game? You're not just becoming dependent on machines. You're becoming redundant to them. No resistance, no awareness, just a slow surrender, disguised as progress. And by the time you realize what you've traded, you may not remember how to get it back. You once believed your thoughts were your own. Your beliefs, your tastes, your identity, shaped by experience. But what if they weren't? What if the person you think you are was manufactured? Not by parents, not by peers, but by code. Every tap, every scroll, every second you hesitate feeds an unseen machine, not to serve you, but to shape you. Your fears, your desires, your politics, predicted, manipulated, and sold back to you. You're not just a user, you're a product, a finely tuned profile engineered for maximum conversion. And the better the system gets, the less human you become. It starts simple. You click, it learns, you get more of the same. More outrage, more affirmation, more tribal comfort, until your feed becomes a mirror, but it doesn't reflect who you are. It reflects who the algorithm wants you to be, and in the process, truth becomes optional. You're not informed, you're programmed. Now take a look at who's being pushed to the top. Flawless skin, symmetrical faces, voices built in a lab, influencers who don't exist, AI-generated humans with higher engagement rates than the real ones, and the youth, they're mimicking them, trying to look, act, and become something that was never real. It's not aspiration, it's assimilation. You think you're making decisions? Swipe right, the system knew you would. Buy that shirt, it hit your feed right as your dopamine dipped. Even job applications are now filtered by keyword reading AI. Your future may never even make it to human eyes. You're not choosing, you're being herded. So ask yourself, are your thoughts your own, or are they feedback loops? Your humor, your anger, your taste in music, none of it random. All of it trained. You didn't lose your identity, you outsourced it. One post, one scroll, one algorithmic nudge at a time. You are not the customer of social media, says tech pioneer Jaron Lanier. You are the product. And the more programmable you are, the more profitable you become. In the age of AI, you don't become who you are. You become what the system can monetize. So the question is no longer, who am I? It's, who's writing the code that defines me? You've seen the system. You've felt the pull. But now, you know what it is. And that awareness, that's your weapon. Because once you understand the programming, you can start writing your own code. Next time you're about to prompt, search, or autocomplete, pause. That tension, that tiny moment of struggle, that's your real intelligence trying to stretch. Don't reject the tools. Just engage before you automate. Because every time you think first, you take back territory from the machine. Write by hand. Read slowly. Take in information without noise, pings, or tabs. This isn't nostalgia. It's neurodefense. The slower the medium, the deeper the thought. In a world obsessed with speed, slowness is subversion. Silence is where truth surfaces. Walk without headphones, drive without distraction, eat without a screen, let your mind breathe, let it wander, let it generate. Because creativity dies in noise, but it thrives in stillness. You are not a passive feed, you are a filter, a firewall. Ask yourself, is this sharpening me or sedating me? Is it challenging my thoughts or reinforcing my comfort? Unfollow the shallow, pursue the deep, because what you consume consumes you. You weren't born to scroll, you were born to make. Write, speak, building, invent. Every act of creation is resistance. Every original thought is rebellion. This isn't about running from AI, it's about outrunning it. In the future, says Cal Newport, the most valuable skill will be the ability to focus without distraction, because the world won't demand less distraction, it will demand more you. So here we are. Is AI making us dumber? Maybe, but that's not the full story. I didn't create this video to sound the alarm. I made it because I see where this is going, and I don't like the silence. Because while most people are hypnotized by convenience, tech billionaires are pouring billions into systems designed to replace the struggle, not support it. Mark Zuckerberg casually shrugged off the loneliness epidemic, saying AI could just simulate your friends, not cure the problem, just replicate the illusion. And that should make every cell in your body uneasy. Let's be real. This didn't start with ChatGPT. It started the day we stopped memorizing phone numbers. When we started outsourcing memory, then directions, then basic math. Now we're outsourcing thinking. And the scariest part, you don't notice it. At first, it's innocent. AI polishes your email, then your proposal, then your apology, then your thoughts, until one day you stop asking, what do I believe? And start asking, what should I prompt? That's not innovation, that's mental automation. The slow erosion of originality, the quiet death of inner voice. I've felt it in myself. The reflex to ask AI first, the temptation to skip the process, the subtle avoidance of discomfort, that used to be the forge for creativity, and every time I do it, I lose a little fingerprint of me. So now I pause, I let my thoughts wander. I write before I prompt, because what's vanishing isn't just attention or memory, it's struggle, and struggle is where the soul lives. This isn't some abstract future, it's already happening. Stop speaking a second language, you forget it, stop solving problems, you lose the edge, stop thinking for yourself, you become programmable. And soon, we'll live in a world where AI writes the job post, AI applies for it, AI screens the candidates, and AI conducts the interview. It sounds absurd, until you realize we're almost there. Once, life was the workout. Now we need gyms just to stay physically functional. Soon we'll need mental gyms, just to stay mentally human. We are approaching a split. On one side, the few who choose to keep their minds alive, who still read, still wrestle, still struggle. On the other side, the many who become efficient, automated, obsolete. One group sharpens, the other dissolves. Yes, machines can mimic empathy, but they can't feel it. They can write poetry, but they don't know longing. They can mirror your voice, but they don't carry your soul. And if we keep handing them our minds, our stories, our sense of self, one day we'll look around and realize we preserved intelligence, but lost the human behind it. This isn't just a technological shift, it's a spiritual one, a battle between friction and freedom, between the easy way and the meaningful one. Because here's the truth, you can't outsource self-awareness, you can't automate wisdom, you can't prompt your way to purpose. This isn't fear-mongering, it's a wake-up call. History might look back on this moment as the time we elevated human potential, or quietly shut it off. So the next time you're tempted to ask the machine for the answer, don't. Ask yourself. Struggle with it, wrestle with it, think. Because the real question was never, is AI making us dumber? The real question is, will we remember how to think before we forget what it means to be human?